How are you? Again, I'm gonna imagine you said good because I'm having a good day. I hope you are too. Um, let's get right into it. Spawn, and the first issue of Miracle Man. I found this in the dollar box at my local comic book store. They have like a few of them. If anyone out there at my local comic book store is watching this, make sure you put number two, I don't know, somewhere. I would like it, is what I'm getting at. I would like it. Thank you. Anyway, um, this, I theorize, there's a whole book we don't even get to see. It opens with Spawn taking apart what I had to be pointed out was medieval Spawn. At first, I was like, "What? No way! That's not Miracle." I mean, medieval Spawn. And then Mom's like, "Yeah, it is." I'm like, "Damn." Because the last time we saw him, he was chained up at the Vatican. Yeah. Um, no one explained why or how, or they just treated it like, that's just another Tuesday. What you can't do, Mr. McFarlane, is make a happy end. I mean, this was more happy than that, than the Spawn book. Spawn opens with, well, that's not entirely true. Opens with, that's the first time we see Spawn. First, we see this Ra's al Ghul looking guy. I was gonna say, gotta keep it clean. It's a family show. Motherfucker. Yeah. We opens with this Ra's al Ghul looking guy, and he's all like, um, he explains that they're all like demons and they're planning to take over the world of men, that they can't trust the Spawns anymore because they're clearly choosing sides, which could account for their individual appearance. But I never finished reading Wildcats Spawn. Maybe I'll get around to it someday. Put it on one of my classic reviews. But for now, all you need to know is that the Spawns are going rogue. I was really impressed, Mr. McFarlane, that you were able to use medieval Spawn. I was a little disappointed on that whole separate issue of him being tied up in the Vatican. And then suddenly, I mean, you're going to tell me the Pope was cool with that when Spawn just broke in? Um, yeah. I would like to think the story we didn't see somehow involved the Man of Miracles, which Spawn is living in illusion. but that's just my opinion. The Man of Miracles, if you didn't know, was clearly supposed to be Miracle Man because Todd McFarlane tried to get the rights to Miracle Man for years. Like, years. And then all of a sudden, I guess, all he had, there's been people on the internet far better than me that have reviewed and went over the information. But I think I can't absolutely say, but I think I remember someone saying that all he had was the logo. The Miracle Man logo. Which I think they changed. I don't know. But yeah. That's why he's never gonna openly say that Miracle Man Spawn Spawn lives in an illusion, because Alan Moore did that far better in this book right here. That was the big twist at the end of the first arc. Even I know. This is another story just like The Sandman, where I know bits and pieces of it. I don't know how it was supposed to dovetail into its grand finale, but it did, or is going to. I believe it's coming back eventually. You're gonna see that on unpublished issue, but that's neither here nor there. I really liked it. Didn't tell Mom the twist ending. The 1950s were all a hook up to. It really made me want to read more. Especially considering now that Miracle Man has been in other universes. That means those universes, it's like the Tommy Westphall hypothesis. Look that up if you're ever bored. If Neil ever comes a knocking with the Man of Miracles and says it's too similar, and he decides to make a thing out of that, they could say, oh, that universe was an illusion in the first place. Yeah. Because that was clearly Miracle Man. Anyway, like I said, really enjoyed this book. Haven't got to the very end where it's the unpublished last story of the 1950s. I wanted to say 1970s, just but 1950s Miracle Man when he's a kid. Yeah, I haven't gotten that far, but I did read all of the main story. And I would love to see just a reference in here to, like, I don't know. Spawn's world is clearly falling apart. Piece by piece. That's where he's going with that. Yeah. It's fun to see who did it better. I think, again, Miracle Man did it better. If you want to read a good book with basically the same, yeah, the same stakes, not story, but stakes. Oh, the world's falling apart. In the actual Spawn story, which you can watch on Comics Explained, he does a very good job. Rob does, but in the actual story of Spawn, you see that the Man of Miracles is Jesus. I'm I'm not making this up. It, not in this book, but in Spawn's past. So if they ever brought that character in again, they could just say, no, he wasn't what we thought he was. And, I mean, it was kind of weird to read because it was all like, did he really say that about um Miracle Man? And in a way, I'm glad he didn't get the rights, but in a way, I wonder about that parallel reality where Miracle Man is published by Image Comics. Which, by the way, in Miracle Man, I think they changed it so now he worked at the Daily Bugle. It would be lovely to see in the unpublished final issue how he interacts with other super beings like Spider-Man. But that's probably never gonna be realistic. Um, yeah, Mr. Moore, if you're watching this, you did a good job. You outclassed Todd. Yeah. Um, Miracle Man gets a 4 out of 5 because I knew where it was going. I knew where the twist was going to end up. Keep it a surprise for whatever happens in the last final issue that may or may never see the light, may or may not see the light of day. That's all I'd say there. Spawn gets a 3 out of 5. Because if I'm giving Miracle Man a 4, this wasn't a 2, and it wasn't a 1. It wasn't enough where I go into the negative numbers. So, I didn't completely dislike this book. Just, like I said, try to. That's my big problem with it. I'm concerned that Spawn isn't gonna write into a happy ending. Nah. I think it's gonna be sad, and it's gonna say humanity went down because he cut that woman's head off last issue. Yeah. Yeah. Um. Anyway. There's still time. You can save this. I know you wanted to write Ra's al Ghul, but stuff happened. And those are my thoughts. Bob out.